Today we are going to talk about self-esteem. So what is self-esteem? Self-esteem, it is how I evaluate myself in different aspects of my personality and life. What aspects of personality are we talking here about? It's my intellect, my charisma, how I position myself in the society, my personality in general, and so on. Also, it is called the self-concept or self-identity. My name is Darina and I'm running a psychological blog for a happier living. Let's go! We all know people who are objectively smart. For example, they graduated from the university with high distinction, studying economics or something like that, and they still working at the very low paid job that they actually hate. Why is that? Because deep down in that person's subconscious, he or she doesn't believe that they deserve a better job, a better life or bigger money. So where does this belief comes from? Of course, parents, childhood and constant comparison with others. We've been imprinted the belief that we should be humble, we should not stick out, etc. Speaking about the childhood, kids often hear, "Oh, look, this boy is running so fast. Oh, look, this girl is studying so well. Why you just can't be like her?" Or the kid is showing the drawing for his mom and she's like, "Just leave me alone, stop distracting me with your pictures. Don't you see I'm busy?" An anxious parenting style can also contribute to the low self-esteem. "Don't go there, don't do this, you can't do it right, let me do it for you." Or on the contrary, indifferent parenting style, when the kid is running around all day and parents do not notice him at all. They don't give any support, don't give any love, and literally not interested in the life of the child at all. When the person like that grows up, what do they think about themselves? "I'm nothing, I'm just an empty spot." Why is it important to work on your self-esteem? Because low self-esteem makes you struggle even though you achieve some kind of success in your life. Because even the slightest bit of criticism or negative events such as divorce, cheating of your partner, or if you get fired from your job, instantly pulls you back into negative beliefs about yourself. And it can take up an enormous amount of time and energy to recover from those events, much more than for someone with adequate self-esteem, because those people, they do not fully put blame on themselves. They understand that it can be just circumstances. Now let's have a look how low self-esteem manifests itself in a social environment. Most of the time it will manifest itself in a negative, destructive way, but in some cases it can manifest itself in a constructive, positive way. So how the destructive manifestation of low self-esteem looks? The person doesn't go for dates, doesn't ask the boss for a better pay, doesn't accept any career opportunities. Also, the person tries to humiliate other people to artificially elevate themselves above others. By the way, this is very obvious in the comments section on social media. You can see how one is trying to raise themselves above others, making insulting jokes or pointing to the mistakes of other people. Now let's see how low self-esteem manifests itself in a constructive way. Inferiority complex according to Adler's. Well-known expression goes here that in order to be a complete person, one must have an inferiority complex. It activates a compensatory function of the personality. Look at the Napoleon. Yes, I'm small in height, but now I'm going to have big victories, big accomplishments. I'm going to prove to the world that I'm a big man. Or Marilyn Monroe. She suffered from an inferiority complex all her life because in general she had a very tragic childhood. She was living in a fostering family and her mother visited her just few times a month. Plus, Marilyn Monroe had a history of mental illnesses in her family. She was fighting with this complex all her life and she was trying to hypercompensate it. I'm going to play such a brilliant role in a movie that you won't ever notice that I'm just a little grey mouse. By the way, the real name of Marilyn Monroe was Norma Jean Mortensen. And she decided to change her name early in her career because, from her own words, she felt that her birth name was unwanted and made her feel like a little servant girl. Another big question is, if I'm going to work through my fears, through my inferiority complex, does that mean that my striving for success will go away? From one side, yes, but look at Marilyn Monroe. She had a very tragic life, and if she would work through her inferiority complex earlier, maybe she'd realize that she just wants to marry an easygoing guy, have a couple of children, and actually be a stay-home mom. We probably wouldn't have these great movies, but Marilyn Monroe would be happy and wouldn't be suffering from depression, drug and alcohol addiction, trying to prove to her mom that once abandoned her that she is worthy of love. But from the other side, by having good self-esteem, you actually can achieve success in life without the need to sacrifice your mental health, and you actually can have a good work-life balance. Let's move on to the techniques how to work on your self-esteem. Since self-esteem is a set of beliefs about yourself, take pen and paper and write down one big goal you have. After, write down what irrational beliefs holding you back from achieving this goal. For example, I'm not smart enough, or I have nothing special about me, or something else. Everyone is going to have their own set of negative beliefs about themselves. After, change this negative phrase into the positive one. For example, instead of I'm not smart enough, just write down I am smart enough to achieve this goal, or I am special and I have lots to offer to the world. The phrase should be short and snappy, and after, think what symbol this phrase can associate with. For example, you'll say, I will be successful, I have lots to offer to the world, this is my phrase and this is my symbol. You can draw your own symbol or find it somewhere in the internet. Put everything that you feel in it, everything that you associate this phrase with. It has to reflect this statement. After, you make miniatures with the same symbol. Make sure that there are lots of them, for example 20 or more, and you scatter them all over the house in the most unexpected places. Put those symbols in a drawer where you keep your socks or your underwear, or put them in your makeup bag or even in a car. And once you are reaching for something, suddenly there is a symbol. It works as a constant reminder that you are good enough, that you are worthy, etc. Technically, it reminds you the phrase that you embedded in the symbol earlier. Like that, this affirmative phrase will drop into your subconscious and be imprinted every time you come across this symbol. Next point, do not criticize yourself out loud in front of the person you are living with, like your partner or your husband, etc. As at some point, it can suddenly seem real for them. Most of the time, you are the only one who sees your imperfections. Other people either don't notice them, either don't care. However, if you are going to speak all the time about it, like I'm this, I'm that, sooner or later you will convince your partner of it. The next point can be very mainstream, However, sport gives a lot of self-confidence. When you do swimming, fitness, yoga, dancing, whatever, your confidence goes up very quickly. Who goes to gym will understand what I'm talking about. You know, this feeling that you get after a good training when you can move mountains, and this is of course a great addition to your self-esteem. Next point, make a diary of your achievements. Like Napoleon used to say, collect my victories. Just write daily few achievements, even little ones. Even if you overcame yourself and went early to the gym or did something that you were afraid of doing for a long time. And the final one, which is probably good to try if you already tried the other techniques and you can see that your self-esteem started to improve. Encourage yourself to speak on public. Take and post pictures on social media. Try to get as much publicity as you can so you can be evaluated by other people. Face this fear of being evaluated by others and you will actually see that nothing bad happened. Thank you for watching till the end. Subscribe to my Instagram, my YouTube, and I will see you in next videos.